Alright guys, I decided to do things a little bit different now. So for this episode of Warrior to Mythic, I'm gonna do a commentary of the gameplay. So as you can see, we're still spamming Alucard because of his 1v5 potential. So first thing that we have to note is the team composition of the enemy. So you must memorize the heroes of the enemy so that your map awareness will be improved. So for example, during this loading screen, we can see that they have Mia, Layla, Zilong, Carrie, and Alucard. So those are their 5 heroes. So once we get into the game, we will count the heroes we can see on the minimap and then infer or guess where the other members are based on the situations on the map. Okay.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed!
Alright, so we're in the lane now. We're just farming. So like I said in our first video, our strategy is to farm until their whole team cannot kill me or I can kill them all by myself. So we're prioritizing the lane minions first and then we move to the nearest jungle monster. So as you can see now on the mini map, we can see the enemies ganking my my teammate, the Saber. So they killed him, but I decided not to help him because it's, even if I help, it's still a 2v3 situation and I doubt that we can win that. So I decided to just farm and wait until I have enough teammates. So in this situation, I have Mia with me, and I know also that Alucard is here also. But since the enemy Mia was too low before Alucard joined, I decided that we have the edge. So now I tried to take the blue buff, but it seems that it's not efficient because I will be too low to farm after I finish the blue buff, or I might even be dead. So that's why I decided to just farm the lane minions and then proceed to the next easier jungle monster. Alright, so now no one is defending top lane and I'm just waiting for more enemies to show up. So as you can see now on the minimap, I can see 3 enemies. Zilong on top, Mia and Alucard in the middle lane. So since I have my tower, I'm safe here. So Zilong is low and I just killed him because he's in the tower when he's low. So as I mentioned in my first video, when enemies approach you in your tower, you should attack them, because if they attack you, the tower will aggro or attack them, and then you will have a huge damage advantage because you have your tower. Now, so the question is what to do next. So we have to farm the nearest jungle monster or lane. As you can see, I didn't go for the jungle monster on the enemy side because I don't know where the rest of them are. So me appeared on top. So Carrie is in the middle, Mia and Zilong. You can see all 5 heroes are present on the minimap. So now I can do my decision. So only one person is in the middle lane, so if he shows up, I can attack him.
Our turret has been destroyed.
In the end, my teammates won the skirmish on the bottom lane, and one person in the middle lane didn't show up. So I decided to defend the top lane. As you can see here. Alright, because of my item and item advantage, I was able to win against the enemy Zilong. Now to farm even more, some more.
Killing is always better than giving mercy.
Okay, I can see the enemy Alucard and then the enemy carry, but the rest of my team are here, so it's good to fight when you have a numbers advantage. Okay, you can see two of them, three of them here, so I decided to back off. I almost died here, but luckily I was able to dash out before the Zilong can reach me. So I'm too low to participate in the team fight, so I decided to just help Saber push the bottom lane.
Enjoy your last meal.
So after I push the bottom lane, let's look at the minimap and see what's happening. So my teammates are dominating and Saber overstayed, so he was killed by 3 people, by 3 enemies. Now I'm gonna take the red buff, which is a good boost in damage, and it has a slow, so enemies will find it hard to escape your combo. Now 3 enemies are in the middle, so do not engage when you have a numbers disadvantage, almost always, unless you are to the point, you are in the point where you can 1v5. Okay, the enemies are missing, and I can see the enemy Lila, so I assume that he's alone or she is alone because all the enemies are in the top side. There. When Alucard gets on top of marksman, they just die, especially when you have an item advantage or red buff, because most of them lack the mobility and the health to endure your damage and your burst. Okay, now we have them up, so 2 are in the graveyard as you can see on the death timers. Lila is here, so I just had to back off, and 1 enemy is missing. Who's that enemy? Now 3 enemies are missing. 2 enemies are missing, I mean. So I assume that they are all defending now. Let's see. During these situations where all lanes are pushed to the second tower, you just have to bait the enemies to go out of their base and then kill them so that you can take the tower safely. Farms even more. The only second tower or inner turret standing is the top lane one, and then it just died. So now, as I've mentioned earlier, we just have to bait the enemy team to go outside their base and kill them so that we can take their inhibitor towers. Or if you have the range to kill them like this. So that's 1, 2. 2 of them are dead now, so I'm just waiting for them to go out their base and then I kill them all. Here I baited him to go forward and then kill him again, because as you may not know, Alucard's passive allows him to dash when you have a nearby target to attack after you casted your skill. Okay. As you can see, I am 4 levels ahead of the enemy Zilong, so it wasn't even close. I was even at a lower health when I started the fight than when I finished it. farm some even more. Surprisingly, my teammates are doing well this game, and my carry is doing a good job of killing the enemies.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
So the story of
Been slain.
how you can farm to the point where you can 1v5 is that just look at the minimap and then make a decision based on
Legendary.
the information that you have. So the minimap often shows you enough information so you can farm safely. And if you farm efficiently, you will be almost always ahead of the enemies unless your teammates feed. But even then, you still have a chance to win.
Spree. An ally has been slain. Double kill.
Okay, kill the
Triple kill.
marksman.
Team
Then 3 of them are dead.
destroyed.
I can take the top tower. Alright, and the next tower. Don't just rush to end the game by yourself.
Kill.
Unless all your teammates are with you.
Everything
Usually 4 of them are dead, and if your teammates, all of your team decided to end the game, you can do it. But if you're by yourself, don't do that, because you're just gonna get killed and then they will get shut down gold and then they might have a chance to come back. And to finish up the game, the Layla.
Legendary.
Alright, that's it. I hope you learned something. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. And again, peace out.